How many of you want happiness in life? Great. We all need happiness in life. That's why we do everything for happiness. So there are three types of happiness: pleasure, passion, and purpose in life. Early in the life, we always look for pleasure, like I want to go for a movie. I want to be like a rock star. And later in the life, we look for passion. I want to become a doctor. I want to become an engineer. And at the end of the life, like all the great scientists, philosophers, they work at the level of purpose of the life. So today, I will tell my journey of happiness from pleasure to purpose of life. From my childhood, I always find my happiness in exploring things. So the three things I like in my life are New York City, New York City, and New York City. When I was in New York City, I explored to the core. I went to more than 30 museums: American Museum of Natural History, Metropolitan Museum of Art, Frick's Collection. I went to Broadway shows, Yankee games, and I explored, like, I went to Central Park, Top of the Rock. I had a great time. I discovered my purpose, my passion in the life, that is human brain in New York City. Do you know how many neurons are there in the human brain? Just give it a try. What? Yes, 100 billion. And each second, human brain has capacity to do 10 to the power of 16 operations. It is most powerful than the most powerful computer available. So to pursue my passion in life, I came to Brown. So as a neurologist, I had an opportunity to see patients from 30 weeks to 110 years. So I saw great variety of cases. Sometimes, my patients experience like this gratitude, like the tears in their eyes when I helped them or saved their lives, which is countless. But the following cases I am going to tell you imprinted in my heart. I saw babies who slept and never wake up again. There is a term called sudden infant death syndrome. I saw patients who were in their 30s, 40s, completely healthy, had a headache, came to the ED, and I did MRI brain, and I found grade 4 brain cancer. And I told them that there may be few months to years of life left. And I saw patients, again completely healthy in their 50s, coming with like difficulty in speaking or change in mental status. When I did head CT, I found big bleeds. And I shared the information, unfortunately, with the families that there are few minutes to few hours of life left. So human brain itself is a very tough organ because there is no brain transplantation. So whenever I think about these patients, I think about these patients when I go to sleep. When I wake up in the morning, when I realize that I am still alive, is a blessing and happiness to me. Eating, walking, talking, drinking, seeing, hearing, These are all like, you know, happiness to me. We just take granted all the little things that we are blessed with. So happiness is all about rediscovering all the little blessings we have already. So whenever I realized that the fragility of the life, I believe that I came here to share this, and rent this property for, if I am lucky, few years or few decades in life. Last week, as I was talking with Kate, do you know how many stars in our galaxy Milky Way? Take a guess. How many stars? Yes. Good. How many galaxies in this universe? Yes. See, 100 billion. So, as Kate is mentioning, if you put one dot on the screen, it is equivalent to that discovered universe so far, that one dot. In that one dot of this 100 billion universes, our planet Earth is a small proton. Imagine, in our planet Earth, the size, how big we are. But we all think that the entire world, entire universe, everything revolves us. I am the Superman. So I always feel that, you know, we should use this planet Earth resources in very loving way and in very sharing way. But unfortunately, we create so many differences. We saw so many speeches today about, like, you know, gender, age, color, religion, nationality. We create so many walls artificially. Recently, I came across this beautiful poem by an anonymous author. Life makes you think. The paradox of our time is we live in taller buildings, but we have shorter tempers. We have bigger houses, but smaller families. We have more medicines, less wellness. We traveled all the way to the moon and came back, but we have tough time to walk across the street and say hi to our neighbor. We talk too much. We love too seldom. We hate too often. We are adding years to life, not life to years. We conquered outer space, but not inner space. Life makes you think. Then, again, I found my purpose in life in New York City. While I was walking in subway, somebody gave me a card. I took that card and I am almost about to throw that card away. But I kept that card in my pocket, and exactly after 1 year, I was so bored. I took that card out and I was so intrigued. And it led me to the books of Srila Prabhupada. He is a monk from India. So Srila Prabhupada, he met his guru, spiritual teacher, in 1920s. So his guru said that happiness is not in our bank balances, in our beauty, in our degrees. It's nothing to do with external things or external pressures. It comes from within. It is in our spirit. The true happiness comes when you connect this spiritual energy to the universal energy our friend Kate is mentioning, like, you know, the one dot we discovered, the 100 billion galaxies, and there is so much that is not yet to be discovered. So connecting this spiritual energy within us to the universal energy is happiness. So he was really inspired by this mind-blowing concept. He, at that time, Prabhupada is like us, like, you know, he's in his career, and he literally waited for 30 years to mature himself to understand this concept. And finally in 1960s, as his guru said, like, go and teach and share this knowledge throughout the world. At that time, he had family, friends, followers in India, but out of his respect to his guru, he left everything. He came here, but he wants to come here, but he don't have any money. He went out and asked so many people. His age at that time is 69 years. Oh, I want to go to United States. Can you please sponsor me? Can you give me some money? And everybody said, hey old man, you will die if you go to United States. But he insisted, I have to share this message. And finally, he got the ticket. And he started on August 13th, 1965. Can you please take a guess how many days he traveled from India to United States? 35 days. In this 35 days, he is the only passenger on the ship, going through seasickness, dizziness, and he had 2 massive heart attacks. And he landed in Boston, finally, by himself. No money, no friends, 70 years of age, poor health, and 40 rupees in his pocket, that is equivalent to $5 in 1965, and 2 months of visa. And he wrote in his book, diary, saying, why I came here? I left everything back. I don't know whether to go to right or left, but please give me the strength so that I will share this knowledge and people's hearts will open. And finally he came to New York City, and he sat under the tree, and people started gathering. And he managed to get a small storefront, like our friend Max is saying, that there are like it's maximum 20 people fit in the storefront. And he started sharing this knowledge throughout the United States and throughout the world. And now there are 650 happy homes. It is called ISKCON, and he started 60 farm communities and 50 schools, and he wrote hundreds of books. And by the time he died, he traveled throughout the world for 14 times. So I would like to give big round of applause for this great gentleman. So the science behind it is very simple. Happiness comes from within, not from outside. So how many of you heard the word meditation? Okay, let's do a small few seconds of meditation. Don't be shyful. Please close your eyes. Take a deep breath. Imagine that you are in the remote part of the Soul Island. You are by yourself. Nice sunshine, blue sky, blue water, soothing waves. And you are going deep and deep and deep into your heart, removing all the anger, lust, greed, ego, frustration. Now your hearts are coming up like a white lotus flower under a cool moon. Now you are just happy, blissful, beautiful, eternal. Just feel the loving emotion there. And let's start giving that loving emotion to the whole world. Take a deep breath. Stay there for a few seconds. experience that feeling. Now you can open your eyes. How is the experience? I didn't give you any tickets for Super Bowl or anything, but you just closed your eyes and focused on your spiritual energy and you feel awesome. So what is the science behind it? It is like the five horses representing five senses. So my tongue is saying, go and eat in kebab and curry or east side pockets. And because the senses are very tough to control, and my mind gives instructions to the senses, and my mind is saying, no, go to Providence Place Mall and watch a movie. And mind is always like, it's very tough to control. And finally, intelligence is saying, oh, you are giving a TED talk, so you should focus here, right? And finally, the spirit, which is sitting there, like the thing you just sensed, which is just observing all the drama, everyday drama we go through, that is eternal, blissful, happy. You don't need anything. So that is the whole concept and science behind this meditation. So how many of you know about this? What is this animal? It is a musk deer. So it travels throughout the forest, walking across. Where is this good smell coming from? Where is this good smell coming from? It lives throughout its life, and it never finds the happiness, and it never finds the good smell, and it dies usually, like without finding that good smell. Actually, that good smell is coming from the musk deer. So in the same way, happiness is coming from within. It's not related to outside. So there are different types of meditations. One of the meditation Prabhupada said is mantra meditation. You can do like 2 rounds with me. Just repeat with me, okay? Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So you can connect any way the spiritual energy to the universal energy. So this is one other technique I would like to share. And finally, if you see this picture closely, what is that? I. So the happiness is within. So I would like to end here saying that happiness is not in the external things, it comes from within, it is inside job. You have to connect the spiritual energy to the universal energy. Thank you.